Hello everybody, in this video I'm gonna talk about the method for determining the widths of high-speed turning roadways at grade intersections and also ramps at the interchanges. Some right turns at the intersections or ramp terminals where the inner radius of a traveled way is larger than 50 feet, and also ramps at the interchanges are examples of this type of turning facilities, which they're normally designed for a speed more than 20 mile per hour up to 45 mile per hour. And notice if a ramp is to be designed for speed more than 45 mile per hour, then the approach to be followed for determining the needed widths is the same as widening and horizontal curves. Once you gonna design a turning roadway, you got three cases to consider based on the length and also turning traffic volume. Case one is a one-lane, one-way operation. The width in this case is made up two lateral clearances, each of them equals to 2 feet, and extra width that accounts for difficulty of driving in curves, which is also equals to 2 feet, plus the width of design vehicle while it's making its turn. As you see, in case there is a stalled vehicle inside the turning roadway, turning traffic will have no chance to pass it. So this case is generally appropriate when the turning roadway is relatively short, let's say less than 50 feet, and the turning traffic is moderate. Given these conditions, the chance of a vehicle breakdown will be slight, but preferably one of the traveled way edges should have a sloping curve or be level with the shoulder. Considering these conditions, the use of this case is normally limited to right turn movements at the channelized intersections. Case 2 is similar to case 1, except that an extra width is provided inside the turning roadway to give the turning traffic the opportunity to pass a stalled vehicle. Since passing a stalled vehicle occurs at low speed, the lateral clearances in this case is as small as 1 feet, and no extra width is provided to account for a difficulty of driving in curves. Well, we got two vehicles, so we need a clearance between the body of vehicles, which is in this case equals to 2 feet. The clearances plus the widths of design vehicles and front and rear overhangs make up the widths of this case. Since passing a stalled vehicle is considered in this case is generally appropriate when the turning roadway is intermediate or long in length, or turning traffic is moderate to heavy, but not that much to exceed the capacity of one lane, maybe less than 1,500 vehicle per hour. Large widths causes some problems and difficulties for a pedestrian to cross it, and also encourage drivers to adopt higher speeds. So it's a common practice in urban areas to turn this part of width into a truck apron in some traffic condition. Considering these conditions, you could say many right turns at channelized intersections and some ramps with lower volumes fit in this case. All right, and the last case, case 3, is appropriate when traffic is heavy enough to justify two-lane operation. One could say more than 1,500 vehicle per hour, and it could be either a one-way or a two-way turning roadway. Many ramps and some high-volume right turns fit in this case. Since the two vehicles could be operating at design speed while they're passing each other, lateral clearances in this case are larger than case 2. Here outside the wheel track equal to 2 feet and 4 feet between the body of two vehicles. We also have Z parameter equals to 2 feet, and also the front and rear overhangers are added, plus the widths of design vehicles while they're making their turns altogether make up the needed width in this case. All right, so far we're done with the cases, but to calculate the width of a turning roadway, the parameter U that represent the width occupied with the design vehicle has to be known, which depends on physical characteristics of a selected design vehicle or vehicles, and also the radius of a turning roadway. Since turning roadway normally accommodate more than one type of vehicle, Green Book introduces 3 logical traffic conditions based on the proportion of trucks in turning traffic. Traffic condition A, B, and C are introduced in Green Book. In traffic condition A, where there is a small proportion of trucks, in other words, less than 5%, passenger car govern the design, and also some consideration is given to SU-30. So the widths under this traffic condition are still wide enough to accommodate occasional larger vehicles up to a WB-40. Yet these larger vehicles will have some difficulties passing the turning roadway due to the lesser clearances compared to passenger cars. This traffic condition is generally associated with collector arterial intersections or minor arterial intersections in urban areas. Despite the low volume of trucks in some local roads, maybe you don't want to consider this traffic condition in a rural environment, except in some local intersections where the right-of-way is restricted that does not fit the wider widths of traffic condition B. The next one is traffic condition B, where proportion of trucks in turning traffic is in between 5 to 10%, and the SU-30 govern the design with some consideration for WB-40, which means full clearances are provided for SU-30, but in case a larger vehicle up to a WB-40 passes the turning roadway, lateral clearances decreases, but not less than half of their design value. This type of traffic condition is generally associated with some arterial or freeway intersections or interchanges in urban areas, and local or collector intersections in rural areas. And the last one, traffic condition C, accounts for large volumes of trucks, in the other word, more than 10%. So normally there are enough WB40 to govern the design, although some consideration is given to a larger one like WB50, which means the turning roadway will be large enough to accommodate a WB50, but with lesser lateral clearances, still not less than half of design values. All right, knowing how to pick the appropriate case and traffic condition for designing a specific turning roadway, you could go to the design table provided in Green Book to determine the needed widths. But since the presence of a shoulder may decrease the needed width, let's first see what range of shoulder width is recommended in Green Book for turning roadways. You may want to consider this row for case 1 and the second row for case 2 and 3. In urban areas, the edges of turning roadways are defined by curves, or vertical, or sometimes like ramps, sloping curves. Short length turning roadways normally do not need a shoulder, but lateral clearances of 2 feet on left side and at least 2 feet, or preferably 4 feet on right side is adequate. And in rural areas, left side shoulder of 2 feet width and 4 feet for right side shoulder is normally enough. For longer turning roadways, as a rule of thumb, let me draw it. As a rule of thumb, the same shoulder width on approaching road or street should be provided on the right side of turning roadway. So the shoulder width will be dependent on the functional classification of approaching road or street, and also the proportion of truck and ADT. Normally you get 6 feet for right side and 4 feet for left side when the approaching road or street is a minor arterial, or 8 feet for right side where it's a major arterial, and up to 12 feet for the right side and up to 10 feet for the left side when the approaching road or street is a freeway. All right, now let's jump to the design table of Green Book. Here are the cases, case 1, 2, and 3, and under each case we got traffic conditions A, B, and C, and finally the needed traveled way widths for each case's traffic condition and annual radius of traveled way. It really helps you to get a better understanding of each traffic condition if you already know what kind of vehicle or combination of vehicles are used in calculating these widths. All these tables will help you. Let's have a look at it. For example, for case 1 and traffic condition A, this table says turning roadway with traveled way widths of these figures will accommodate a passenger car with full lateral clearances, and it's still wide enough to accommodate an occasional WB4D with lesser lateral clearances, at the least half of those provided for passenger cars. Or for example, for case 2, traffic condition B, this table says a passenger car can pass a stalled SU-30 or vice versa with full clearances, and it's still wide enough for a passenger car to pass an occasional stalled WB4D, although with lesser lateral clearances, at the very least half of those provided for combination of passenger car and SU-30. I do recommend you to do the same for the rest of combination of cases and traffic conditions. It really helps you in deciding which traffic condition is appropriate for your turning roadway. Here the point I'm trying to get is that as you can see, the largest occasional design vehicle that can be accommodated with these widths under traffic condition A and B is a WB4D, and under traffic condition C, if you accept this correction, which is based on older editions of Green Book, and also comparing the needed widths for a W62 with the related figures in this table, then the largest occasional design vehicle that can be accommodated with these widths is a WB50. Now, what if an occasional larger vehicle like a WB62 or 67 is expected to use the turning roadway? Green Book says if these larger vehicles are expected to occasionally use the turning roadway, then the sum of shoulders widths and traveled way of the turning roadway must be greater than the widths under case 1 for the larger occasional design vehicle. So you also need this table to make sure the turning roadway is wide enough to accommodate the larger occasional design vehicle that is expected to use the turning roadway. I have simulated the case 1 for WB62 and also WB67 in AutoTurn software, and for our values of 50, 75, 100 and 150 feet, I got smaller widths, which I'm writing down here, 30, 33, 26, 28, 25 is okay, 26, 20, and 21. You may want to check it out yourself. For the rest of our values, the differences weren't considerable. Now let's demonstrate how to use the design table for determining turning roadway widths. Suppose that you're gonna determine the needed widths for a turning roadway with an annual radius of 100 feet, which is part of two major rural arterial intersection. The design turning volume is 1300 vehicle per hour. The proportion of trucks, suppose it's 12%, and right shoulder of 8 feet and left shoulder of 4 feet is provided. Well, since the turning volume is in between 800 to 1500 vehicle per hour, case 2 is appropriate to be selected, and given the 12% of trucks, traffic condition C will represent the appropriate traffic condition. The annual radius of a traveled way was 100 feet, so the minimum width of a traveled way should be at least 25 feet. But it's not done yet. We need to check for modification due to the traveled way edge conditions. Well, paved shoulders are provided, so this is not relevant to our case. There is no curb of any type outside the traveled way, so there is no needed modification due to the presence of curves. But this one, since shoulders are provided, we're allowed to deduct the sum of shoulders widths from the 25 feet that we got from this table. So 25 minus 12 feet, it comes to 13 feet, but the outcome couldn't be less than the widths as under case 1, which is 18 feet. So the maximum of these two figures, which is 18 feet, will be the minimum width of a traveled way. Since it was an intersection of two major arterials, a larger design vehicle like WB67 is expected to use the turning roadway. So the sum of shoulders and traveled way widths, which is 30 feet, must be greater than the widths under case 1 for WB67. Well, let's check that out. This table says under case 1 for annual radius of 100 feet, the turning roadway should be at least 26 feet wide to accommodate a WB67 under case 1, which is less than the width of this turning roadway. So there is no need for any more modification. All right, it's done. Thanks for watching. Your comments will be appreciated. Bye for now.